Hi there, folks. Well, I know all of you guys have been interested to see how we plant our seeds. Well, it's really simple. All we do is we take our seeds, just the same exact seeds we send to you, and we use a regular garden, $25 sprayer, some bottles, and this sprayer is full of a mix of Cap-10 and water. That's it. There's nothing special in this mix. It's maybe 3 tablespoons of Cap-10 to this thing of water, something like that. And the first thing we do is simply take the seed, take this bottle, pop the top. It's a little hard to do one-handed, so give me 1 second. Put the seeds in the bottle. We just simply fill this with water. It's nothing. There's no brain surgery to this. Put it right to the top. Put the cap back on. Be extremely careful throughout the process to keep the name of the seed with the seed. That is probably the most important thing you have to do. Usually we put the label in with this elastic band, but I cannot do that one-handed. And I'd end up putting it here and soaking them for approximately a day. Now, as you can see, this piece of dirt right there, but as you can see, none of the seeds are floating. If the seeds are floating, that means they've probably gone bad. But these are the seeds, same seeds we've been selling you, and nothing is floating at the end of our sale. So we know these seeds have a fairly decent chance of still being viable. Also, there's absolutely no reason for you to go out and buy some kind of special bottle for the small amount of seeds you're doing. Look, this is a pill bottle. It happens to be a pill that my dad takes. No reason to get another pill. I would assume you get these orange bottles once a month. Most of you don't buy enough seeds from us to need more than 20 of these. So that's just a thought. Now we have 2 ways of planting seeds. The first way is in these tubs. This, again, it's nothing special. It's a tub from, I think Target or something like that. You can see we use a fairly thick level of vermiculite, just like we say in the instructions, about 1.5 inches. And on the bottom is our mix, just like we say on the website. We use either this method or this method. These are single cells. They sit on a tray of about 100. This method is, we found better germination with the trays. The ones right in front of you. The single cell method is really useful because there's no way we're sending you the wrong seed. Right? It goes in the single cell, it stays in the single cell, it never moves. This way, once they start throwing some roots, they're going to move a little bit. So we have to be extremely careful, and the same thing goes for you. You have to be extremely careful every time you move this tray, every time you replant, that you get the right seed in the right spot. That is probably 90% of what I spend my time doing during the germination process, is making sure these little suckers don't move. And you'll see, we've tamped them into the ground, so really they can't move too much anyway. It's only when, I see one that needs a little bit better tamping right there. It's really when they start to germinate. And you'll notice, I'll pull this one out for you, you'll notice that there's a black spot. Some people think this black spot means the seed is bad. That is not the case. All right, the black spot goes opposite the germination point. This is the germination point right there. You see that little circle? Simply take that little circle, plant it downward. You're done. Now, this thing has been soaked through with water and the same exact fungicide we use when we soak the seeds, the Cap-10. If you can't get a hold of Cap-10, you can use Mancozeb, you can use some other fungicides. Most other fungicides are stronger than Cap-10, so you have to really play with your amounts. You don't want to kill the seed with your fungicide. It's not that easy to do, but you can do it. Again, every seed has a germination point, right? I don't know if you can see that. See that little round spot? Again, germination point. See, it's exactly reverse of the black spot. So if you can't find a germination point, simply place the seed black spot up. Easy peasy, no problem at all. After you're done with planting this, and again you can see we plant about 5 or 6 across in this particular size. We've got all kinds of different sizes of these. These are probably our favorites right now. You just take these tops that come with the things, close it up, and you could pay extra money for germination domes and any other thing you want, but $2, I'm done, and I sell to you. So obviously I can sell you something more expensive. I have plenty of other systems we use that are far more expensive, but this works the best so far. We can do it just the same. Usually we will label who the person is on the end from the seeds. That way we know this whole group came from that person. Figure out the germination rate when we're done germinating, and we make sure that the people we buy from are the people we should be selling to you from, basically from that. Now over here is an experiment I'm doing on germination rates and how long you can keep your plants in their starter media. The depth, as it turns out, the depth of the media, you can see one's a little bit deeper than the other, but not that much, determines how long you can keep the plants in the media. Obviously, the deeper the better for how long they're going to be able to stay in there. However, once you leave them in the media for a long period of time, their roots are going to get tangled up, and they're going to break when you pull them out. And that's the reason you want to, once they germinate, get them into some sort of single cell system, like we have over here. Over here we have a single cell system. You see, every single thing is separate from every other thing. There's no way these are getting mixed up at this point. This is something I wanted to show you guys. Sometimes you'll receive a seed from me that has already germinated prior to you doing anything. There's two things you can do with this kind of a seed. First of all, you can simply plant it. It's got a root. There's not much you need to do. You want to be really careful with the root. You see, this root happens to have a nice yellow color on the end. Sometimes you'll receive a seed from us that's been in the mail for a long time, especially if you're international. There's nothing we can do about that. I wish there was. Once we ship internationally, it's in the mail's hands. The seeds, when they have a blackened tip on the end, they're not going to grow anymore from that point. The end of the root is the end of the root point. That's where it grows from. However, this is really important. People think that seed is dead, right? They say, "Oh, I got a little black tip on the end of this white thing. It is gone." That's not true. You plant the seed, it will grow a trunk root off the sides. It may take a little longer to grow. You just have to pamper it a little bit, and it will grow. Usually, I will treat this approximately the same as I do any other seed. I'll put it in water generally instead of fungicide. Sometimes I'll put it in a lighter fungicide. It just depends. It depends on my mood that day and what I infer the seed needs. And this one's in pretty decent shape. I'm going to put this in the same way. I'm just going to use my sprayer, fill it with water, the same exact thing, and I'm going to leave it in for 24 hours, but absolutely no longer. This is already germinated. You can kill it by leaving it in the water too long. So what's important when you pick a container for seeds? Well, depth of media is what is important, right? This is one of the very first things we planted seeds in this house. I kept it for posterity. This is your old Velveeta container from, I think, the 1970s. My dad had them. He used them for other things, for planting, and he would put dirt to about there and put some seeds in it, and they would do okay for the first month, and then they wouldn't. And the reason is the seed would grow. The seeds grow very fast. Once they get their root out, the taproot grows very quickly. It would hit the bottom of this, and it would jay back up. So it's really important you have space for that taproot. You'll notice these are other choices we have. This is the single cell system we use. This is another system we use called the Hiko. You'll see they're all approximately the same height. Everything. Because this is approximately the height that you need. I believe that's about 5.5 inches. That's about what you need for the root. You want to, and we fill these approximately to here, so we give the root about 4.5 inches to grow. And it will grow down about 3 inches from there. For the first root. And you'll get other roots after that, right? You need room for those. These cells, you'll see, the cells are all approximately the same size. See, that cell, this cell, the amount of space we leave here. it's all approximately the same, because that is about the space that you need to grow one of these. Anything more, and they're going to swim. Anything less, and they're going to be too tight. Clivia like to be a little bit root bound. If you do not have them root bound, they die. Realize that. Know that right off the bat. So something like this with a few seeds in it is too small, and it will kill the plant. I know you guys don't have that much to plant most of the time, so you're saying to yourself, well, what do? I don't need something that big. Well, you know, you can get something else. It really doesn't matter what it's made of as long as you can cover it. As long as you can cover it, and as long as you can get the right amount of media into the box. That's all that matters. You know, when we do something like this, we actually put a couple pieces of bamboo stakes in the corner, and we cover it with shrink wrap, 4mm shrink wrap that we purchased. I think it's used for shrink wrapping cars. It's an industrial grade shrink wrap. And then we just wrap this up and close it. It's a horrible thing to reopen, but it worked. You know, same thing with these. We did the same exact thing. We've pretty much quit that because, honestly, the reason we did it was we were guaranteeing that every single seed that we planted stayed with its tag, no matter what. You do that with these, you know that's what happens. It's going to be the case with this. I put a tremendous amount of time opening these and making sure the seeds didn't move. Probably spend, depending on the amount of seeds, 1 to 3 hours a day simply making sure these seeds are next to their tags so that when I send you your plants, you get the right plant. But yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. All you need is a plastic bin of some type and some Diet Pepsi apparently that is covered so that you keep the humidity into the seeds. That's really important. If the seeds don't keep a constant humidity, they're not going to grow very well. We will water these using usually a sprayer, not the little one, but you can use a little $20 sprayer. You don't need anything big. Once they grow to approximately, let's say about an inch and a half tall, you can take these covers off and you can water them by hand, and they'll be fine. You know, you just want to see, let's say about your thumb. When you see about your thumb, you're good, as long as you have big meat hands like me. Even small dainty hands, your thumb should probably be enough. Okay, hopefully that's enough information for you guys to grow some great plants.